welcome to another session of Just a Point of View. Today I'm going to talk about something that I've been wanting to share with you guys and ladies, so forth and so on. And the topic of today is credit. So I'm going to offer you some information that may be of some assistance to you. What I have learned in this world that credit is necessary unless you got a rack of bread. If you got a rack of bread, people still use credit because by using this money, it don't do nothing for your credit. And everybody that was on the streets, you know that, had thousands and thousands and tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when the game is over, you don't got no credit. So even professional athletes, stars, may they be in the music industry, Hollywood, or whatever a person's profession is, they establish credit. Credit help you get cars, help you get housing. It does a lot of things for you, and it's just a part of the system. So like 10 years ago, I came home from the feds, and I was working at a district photo. My man Ron got me on over that jump. And I was looking around, and previously all my life was entwined in the streets. I ain't want no credit, I ain't want nothing to do with it, so forth and so on. But now I had to live on society's terms or ended up back in the incarcerated. So I was looking around and I seen that a lot of people had stuff, and I seen it before, and I thought they had bread, but what I came to the conclusion is that they had credit, especially Caucasian Americans. They got a lot of stuff, but you know what? They know the system and they work the system. So I started asking around, and dude told me about a secure credit card. Secure credit card is a credit card where though you put your money down. I think the less that was accepted when I did it was like $300, and you use that $300 on that credit card, and it shows like responsibility. So I got my first credit card from Bank of America, $300 on it. And what I did, I had got my cell phone bill hooked up to the credit card, and the minimum payment for the credit card was $15. So every month that I paid my cell phone, I was paying a minimum $15 as well. So that worked it out pretty good. So that's my first suggestion. If you decide to get a credit card, first thing to do, hook your cell phone up to it, and every time you pay your cell phone bill, your credit card minimum should be paid as well. Next thing is that people say, man, don't get a whole lot of credit cards because the credit card people, they're going to rip you off, so forth and so on. I didn't listen to that. I ended up getting a few credit cards because it was like one of the only ways that I knew how to establish credit. And this is how the credit card thing works. The more credit you got accessibility to, the higher your credit score go. So at first, my credit was down. I didn't have no credit. And then, once I got the secure card, it came up to like 600. The next year, I think I had that credit card for 15 months. But in the process, I had got another credit card, whereas though they was down like, they had an agreement that I agreed to. I was paying some type of fee to use the card, but I wanted to get my credit up. So they helped me, and I agreed to the fee, so I paid it. So the next year came around, Bank of America gave me my money back. That was the balance on the card, and the way that I was operating, I made sure I had $300 on the card because I knew that time was coming around for them to evaluate me. So they gave me my $300 back, and then they gave me a card from their establishment with a $500. So I had accessibility to $800. The thing about this money is that people like to get it or use the credit and don't pay the people back, and then say, man, they did this. They charge higher interest rate. The banks or whoever gave you the card, they didn't force you to take the card. You made an agreement, and it's about being responsible. If you don't have the resources to pay the money back, don't spend it. You got to realize what the minimum is. Now, the minimum requirement each month is a set fee, $25, $27, $28, but I do not recommend paying that minimum only if that's what your finances call for. You always want to pay more. You always want to break the bill down fast as possible so they won't be charging interest. Say like if you have got the $300, you don't want to have $250 as a balance on your card when the cycle come around, because they're going to charge you the interest on the $250. So if you have that down to $50 or $75, that's less money they're going to get from the interest that they are charging you. Also, back to, don't get the people money or the credit and be like, and don't pay it back. It's simple as this. If you're from the streets, you're going to understand this. If somebody give you a package and you don't pay them their money, the least thing they're going to do is cut you off. Then there's some other measures they may take depending on what they gave you. But if you do pay them back, they're going to give you more. They're going to give you more and more, as much as they can give you, because you have shown responsibility. You have shown respect for that person that you got this product from. So the whole thing is, paying it back is the process of building. If you don't pay back, they dirty you up. So back to the thing where, though, if you get multiple credit cards, this means that you got more money that you have accessibility to. If you got one credit card and it got $300 on it, your credit may never move from $600 if it be that. But if you got 3 credit cards and one got $300 on it, one got a $500 on it, and one got $1,000 on it, that means you got accessibility to $1,800. And with that $1,800, it goes on how much you have as a balance when the cycle come around. So obviously you don't want to have $1,800 in the balance. Only if it was an emergency and you had to really use the money for something, and now you just on the verge of just paying it back. So you want to break that money down fast as you can, as much as you can, and always have in your mind that I'm going to pay these people this money back, because it's going to benefit you in the long run. So once again, today's topic is credit. Credit means, in one sense, how they evaluate you. Are you responsible? Are you reliable? Are you dependable? Have you built up a history? And building up a history is saying that you had a card, or your maybe you had some other type of expenses that's hooked to your credit, like a car loan. You paying your mortgage, and you paying on time, and you paying consistently. This is how you get your credit up. It ain't no, well, this month I'm going to have me a party, or this month I'm going to go buy this Gucci belt and I'll put that on the back. This is not like you're paying your rent. Your rent, depending on who your landlord is, or who's the the governing factor over your establishment, they might work with you this way and this way and that way, and just put a mental note that they was late one time or 2 times. But when you late on your credit payments, it's documented, and they would use that as the reason why you can't get a car loan, the reason why you can't get a loan for a house, so forth and so on. So be mindful of your credit. That is today's lesson, just the point of view, credit. Pay what you owe and move on and live your best life. If you don't never have to use it, that's fine. That's great. But if you do have to use it, be responsible with it. Demonstrate to your children. Your children are watching you. So don't be fussing and cussing about this bill and that bill. Stay gainfully employed. Make it happen in whichever way you have to make it happen, and take care of your responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this information was helpful. I bring you this message in love. I'm going to leave and you're at peace. And please be responsible with your financial responsibilities. Have a blessed day on purpose, with purpose. And remember, that life is on purpose. Praise Him to praise Him.